Good evening, Legionnaires. This is Mr. Hare here from the Burke Hare House of Horrors team, and today I would like to talk about one of my favourite childhood movies, 13 Ghosts, released in 1960, directed by William Castle. So, William Castle is famous for his gimmicks. You might recognise some of his gimmicks, like Percepto, Emergo, and 13 Ghosts were no different. It had Illusiono. So, Illusiono, what was it? It's like an early version of 3D. So when the movie was shot, the actors and actresses were all shot with like a blue screened kind of camera, whereas the ghostly effects were filmed with like a red filtered camera. So do you imagine like the old 3D glasses, you know, the red and the blue on either side? I can't remember which side they were. So the audience was given the choice. Every time they went to see the movie, they were given a pair of glasses. If they wanted to, they could see the movie entirely from the blue side. That way they wouldn't see any ghosts. Whereas if they wanted to, they could watch it entirely from the red side and see all the ghosts. The movie, I'm not going to lie, it's cheesy and it's no doubt a lot of fun. When I was a kid, this always used to be on when I was a kid, and my mother would always used to be putting it on, and I'd always be watching it, kind of laughing at the same time at some of the ghostly effects, but it's still great. So the story itself, a poor family, not got much money, all struggling to meet ends meet, find out they've been recently inherited a house from their late departed uncle, Dr. Zorba, whom Cyrus had actually believed had died 12 years prior. Dr. Zorba was found to be quite an eccentric man. So, what I mean by eccentric, he was known for dabbling in the occult. And the legends say he actually collected ghosts. 12 ghosts, to be exact. The 13th ghost's identity is a mystery. So as the movie progresses, the question is, who's the 13th? And when will it emerge? The filmed entirely in black and white, which, to me, a black and white movie always has that great aspect of the atmosphere, shadows, and generally looks good. The movie, when you're watching it, as I say, it's fun, it's a bit cheesy. Some of the scares and the ghost effects, you can definitely tell were done on a shoestring budget, but regardless, I still love it. One of my favourite probably sequences is probably towards the end when you kind of see all the ghosts. Margaret Hamilton plays Elaine, their house's housekeeper, whom the family believes a witch. And she utters a famous line I love in the movie. Ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no lies. So when I'm watching the movie though, there are a few drawbacks. Like say, the budget, it's a bit shoestring, but then again, it still looks good. You've got some of the casting are pretty good, but I think the character development itself is a bit, in accounts, a bit too casual in a weird way. Like, if I was in a house surrounded by ghosts, and every night the ghosts getting more and more frequent or violent, I don't think I'd be so casually cheerful about it the following morning. I'd probably be bags packed outside the door and going, right, I'm out. But William Castle, brilliant movie, fantastically directed. William Castle was known for his eccentric style of marketing. If you watch the actual trailer, he'll kind of introduce the movie. Now, one of his movies, famously, The Tingler. Yes, I know, The Tingler. It's like a bug that supposedly is embedded in the human spine. It feeds on fear. The only way to subdue it is by screaming. Now, William Castle famously put vibrating like seat mechanisms in the cinema seats. So towards the end of the movie, when people sat down, it would appear actually the Tingler has invaded the cinema. So screens would be vibrating. And you'd hear Vincent Price's subtle, silky voice saying, everyone, don't panic. The only way to beat it is scream, encouraging the people to scream. And in one of his earliest movies, Macabre, he actually waited outside one cinema with a hearse with £1,000 life insurance contracts for people. And one of my favourite other movies, House on Haunted Hill, directed by William Castle, I believe it was there he had Emergo, where what he actually did, he actually got plastic skeletons rigged up so at certain points in the movie to come flying down through the audience to give them a good scare. And that's what I like about William Castle's movies, particularly the 13 Ghosts. Even though 3D technology towards nowadays, we see quite a few 3D movies. You've got 4Ds, seats moving, smells. What I loved most about the 13 Ghosts was it was almost like a proto type of these. The fact is that you've got a director who's trying to immerse the audience in the movie as much as he possibly can. And back then, I'm sure they were brilliant for its time. But unfortunately for me, the movie is criminally underrated. It's not talked about often enough. And for me, it's a shame because it is a brilliant movie to watch for Halloween. When I think of it, if you mention 13 Ghosts to the general public, they all mention that god-awful remake that came out some years ago, and I really don't like that remake. I will do a separate video review on that one day, but I can't say I'm a massive fan. I kind of wish they would have just left the classic alone, but I suppose that's the story of remakes in general, I guess. At the original 13 Ghosts 1960, it's not serious. It's not too dark. It's just that quiet line of family fun, but at the same time has a spooky kind of vibe and atmosphere. As I say, the effects are a bit dated, but it's kind of nice to see that kind of old, kind of spooky charm flying about. You've got the classic, the winds blowing, items levitating, a really amazing sequence with a seance, a Ouija board, and the whole gruesome final act of the house's mystery 13th ghost. I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but all I can say in this case, this is a movie I think you should all watch. And for that reason, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. And as I say, please like and subscribe to all our videos of Burke Hare. I can't thank you enough for watching. Please check this movie out. And if you have any movie recommendations for us to review for you, or you want us to give a shout out, just let us know. This is Mr. Hare signing off. Thank you ever so much. And stay spooky. Viewer beware. You're in for a scare. Good night.